Bleach Manga chapter 565 review. Let's go! So yes, this week's Bleach Manga chapter. This was a great chapter. This was really, really good. I mean, I love this exposition chapter here because it gives us so much information, and we needed this information, and it's just it's so freaking epic because there's just so much that we got out of this chapter, and some things that it implies as well, and it's just like, it's just so much settled. I love this. I love this. So there's a lot of things I want to talk about. The first thing I want to talk about is the fact that we now know how Yhwach has stayed alive so long. It's because of when he was a baby, people kept touching him, and he was when he was a baby, he was like deaf mute. He was empty. He couldn't do nothing. Like he couldn't use arms. He couldn't see nothing. He couldn't hear anything. So the thing here is, as people kept touching him, a piece of his soul went inside that person, and when that person dies, that soul comes back to him. So everything that the person learns, does, and everything, like all that information, even from the ability, goes right back to Yhwach. And gradually over time, he started to be able to hear, to see, and everything like that. So one kind of applies because we don't really know exactly where he came from. Because does he have parents, or did he just magically come out of nowhere? But it's odd that he has this kind of power from birth, I guess you can say. So it's just like, where did he come from exactly? And it just seems like he's not human. This guy is not human. He's from some other world. He's bordering the boundaries between life and death, and it seems like, or something. I don't know. It's something about him. He's not human here. So that's one thing we know at this point. And as long as he keeps getting that transfer of power, he can live forever, it seems like. So he lives basically off of war. He literally lives off of war. There'll always be war if there's Yhwach. And this chapter also basically explains how we have Stern Raiders. Basically how we have these Quincy's with these weird abilities because of Yhwach. Because if you drink his blood, or if you have a better pact with him, instead of just touching him, if you have a better pact with him, he can engrave a letter inside your soul and give you a specific power and grant you that power, and he can just, and then that's basically how the Stern Raiders are created. So we finally get information on exactly how these Quincy's can do all of these moves and these random things, overkill, and you know what I mean? So that was another good thing. I love the explanation for that. And another thing that also really implies, because the thing is, if you make this pact, or if you even touch him or stuff, and his soul transfers to you and everything, you could die. Like, you can die within a few years, you can die within a few months, or you can die within the next couple of days. I mean, you don't know when your time is up, basically, but when your time is up, your time is up. So that's the drawback to this whole transfer of soul and power. And the thing is, Uryu got that transfer of power. So this implies that Uryu is probably gonna die in this arc. I'm just saying, it's not even just by him fighting. He might just die simply because of this pact that he did. He drunk Yhwach's blood. So he might die here. This also shows why he's been killing off his own people when he killed Chandu and the robot guy, BG9. It shows why he did that, because once they die, that transfer of power goes back to them. Everything they learn, everything they see, everything they did goes back to him. So it's not, and once they become useless to him, or how he sees fit, he eliminates them. You don't need them anymore. I love the explanation for that as well. So I was wondering why he just kept killing off his own people, because it seemed to me it didn't make any sense. I'm like, why are you doing this? It's not a tactical decision, man. But it is. It's a very tactical decision, because it's just getting him stronger to a point where you probably won't be able to stop him. And on to that, actually, a lot of these Stern Raiders have died in the past, just a couple of chapters. You know what I mean? Like, people have been dying, and so his strength has greatly increased, I'm assuming. Not to mention, even on the Shinigami side, it doesn't really take much for his soul to transfer to you, as long as you touch either him or even, I think, even his subordinates, because they have the stronger pact, because I think their souls connected, so maybe it's possible that soul can probably go into someone else as well. Because if you look at the panel, like Byakuya was actually in one of the panels, so I'm assuming he doesn't have to directly even do anything, because he gave these powers to the Stern Raiders. It's possible, with that connection, if they touch the Stern Raiders, thus will have that connection, and that soul that piece can maybe pass on to them. But the whole point is, Yamamoto actually touched Yhwach before Yhwach killed him. The real Yhwach was there. Yamamoto touched him. It's possibly transferred his soul right there and then killed him right after, then got some of that power and whatever back to him. So that, again, greatly increased his power there as well. So that's another thing I just kind of like took a note of when I was reading this. I'm like, wait a minute, oh crap. So yeah, this is just, like I said, this is so much that happened in this chapter, a lot of information. I'm just curious just how strong Yhwach really is right now. And also, we only have 8 days left. So at the end of the day, this whole battle right now is all it's gonna do is benefit him regardless of anything, because no matter which side wins or loses, he comes out the victor regardless because he is the strongest. He's gonna be the strongest person there. So this is gonna be ridiculous. So yeah, I really look forward to next week's chapter. I'm curious of where we're gonna go. I wonder if we're gonna get more exposition on the Quincy's or more on Yabak or just other information that we need to know, or are we gonna jump right back into more battles? I'm curious where we're gonna go here, but either way, I look forward to whatever we go to. So yeah, leave a comment below to see what you think of this week's Bleach Manga chapter. Like this review and subscribe to my channel if you want to see some more Bleach reviews from me. See you guys in the Breakmaster, and until then, people, break out.